I use my iPad mini every day, and once in a while I can tell when it's time for a reset. Apps add up, pages pile on, and things start to feel messy and harder to find than they should. In this video, I'm refreshing my home screen and showing you my favorite widgets, how I use app shortcuts, and how I use focus modes for planning, note-taking, writing, and everyday use. When my iPad is clean and organized, I reach for it way more, but when it's a mess, it honestly makes my head feel cluttered too. Being organized isn't just about your physical space. Your digital space matters just as much. This is always the fastest way for me to reset my iPad. I make and send out free wallpapers every single month, and I usually create multiple versions, so I'll switch them out weekly or whenever I feel like it. I'm deleting these older ones because they have calendars on them. The only ones I'm keeping are my vision boards. Whenever I start getting bored of my iPad, changing the wallpaper is the quickest way to make it feel new again. So I changed my wallpapers with focus modes in mind. I like setting these up ahead of time so different modes feel visually distinct instead of everything blending together. That way, when I switch into planning or work mode, it actually feels like a context change, not just the same screen with different apps. For wallpapers, I usually pull from stock image sites like Pexels, so the images stay sharp. Pinterest has a lot of cute ideas, but they tend to look blurry once you turn them into wallpapers. The home screen is where everything either clicks or slowly falls apart. This is the part of my setup that really determines whether I use my iPad or not. Keep a mix of widgets and apps here. Some apps don't even need to live in my home screen because the widget itself acts like a shortcut. If you don't know where to start, this is what I do. I remove all the apps first, then slowly add things back in based on what I actually use. I use widgets almost like visual reminders. Seeing something on my home screen makes me way more likely to tap into it than if it's hidden inside folders. A lot of these widgets basically act as shortcuts. For example, my Notion widget shows the exact page I want to open, so I'm not navigating through menus or dashboards. I still care about how things look, but for me, it has to be a mix of function and aesthetics. If something looks nice but doesn't pull me into an action, I usually remove it. Some of the widgets I keep here are the Apple Calendar, the Journal app, Pinterest, and Daily Art. Pinterest is great because I can pin specific boards and it refreshes hourly, so inspiration rotates in without me having to think about it. Notion is probably the most functional one for me. Seeing that page right there makes it easier to jump straight into planning or notes instead of putting it off. I usually keep widgets on the left side and apps on the right. From a design perspective, our eyes naturally glance left first, so that side feeds me information, while the right side is more action-based. That right brain, left brain split just makes the screen feel easier to process. I also like having the open meditation widget here. The daily quote adds a small pause to my day without asking me to do anything. The day after I filmed this, I discovered an app called 1 Year. It's a daily journal that lets you visualize the year using 365 dots or flowers, and you can plan a memory every day. I've only tried it for a few days since it's a paid app, but it's really well designed, and something about it makes you actually want to document your days. Instead of scrolling through folders, files, or dashboards, you can create an app on your home screen that takes you directly to the exact page you want. That one change alone is one of the biggest reasons I've been consistent with digital planning. I make all these planners, and even for me, if something takes too many tabs to get to, I'll put it off. Having a shortcut removes that friction completely. This year, I've also been trying to write down my thoughts more consistently. I have a page on my Notion dashboard called Daily Writing. It's where I write one thing I thought about that day. Sometimes it's something that happened, and other times it's just a thought I want to finish instead of letting it disappear. With how much time we all spend on social media, it can start to feel like your thoughts aren't really your own anymore. So this page is where I try to slow that down and think a little more clearly. I also have a shortcut to my 2026 planner, which I use every single week. The weekly page is where I zoom in on what I'm actually doing, and then I can zoom back out to keep my goals in mind. Another shortcut I use all the time is my recipe book. It's where I keep all my favorite meals so I don't have to scroll through screenshots or save posts when I want to cook. And I keep a simple to-do list shortcut for quick lists or when I don't need a full planning session. All of these shortcuts live on my home screen because they're things I want to return to regularly. So if you don't care how to set this up, you can skip ahead. I mostly want you to see what's possible. You open the Shortcuts app, scroll down on the right until you find the app that holds a document you want quick access to, tap the shortcut, and then select the document. You can add it to your home screen, rename it, choose an image or icon, and now that page opens in one tap. This is the part of my setup that keeps everything from blending together. Without focus modes, my iPad slowly turns into one mixed space where planning, work, and random apps all live on the same screen. And that's usually when I get distracted or stop using it as intentionally. If you remember earlier, this is also why I set up different wallpapers and home screens. I use focus modes because they reduce friction. They make it easier for my brain to switch into planning mode or work mode without getting pulled into something else. When I'm planning, I want my planner, calendar, and notes right there. When I'm working or editing, I want a completely different set of tools in front of me. Having those modes separated helps me stay in one lane instead of jumping between things. For example, I have a focus mode just for unusual planning. When I switch into it, I only see the home screens that matter for that kind of work, like planning, video editing, writing, and content. Everything else fades out, which makes it easier to stay focused without having to think about it. Setting this up is pretty simple. After you have your home screens and wallpapers set up, go to Settings, then Focus, then create a new focus mode and name it. From there, you can choose which home screens you want visible. People keep all their screens and just silence notifications, but I prefer limiting the screens themselves so there's less to look at. You can also assign a specific wallpaper to each focus mode, which ties back to the setup earlier in the video. They've made my iPad feel easier to use and a lot less distracting. And that's it. Everything is reset and organized in a way that makes the iPad easier to use and easier to come back to. If you've been feeling like your iPad is cluttered or underused, even small changes like this can make a big difference. If this was helpful, feel free to like or subscribe. I'll link everything mentioned below.